I left my parents and cut them off from my life. Finally free. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit subscribe button and join our community for more stories like this one. Note: sorry for poor English, I'm a Filipino. So I got hired into a much better paying job. I left the house, rented my place and changed my number. I planned to deposit a fixed amount into my papa's bank account to cover his medical expenses and food, but that's it. He still has his pension. They have to live within their means. Right now, I'm 35. No matter how much I earn, it's never enough, because of my parents' never-ending credit card debt. My mother believes I owe her everything I have now, my entire life. This was also her perception when she beat me up as a child. That it's her God-given right for giving birth to me. My mother managed my papa's entire salary. He was a director in a multinational firm. His salary will make you weep in tears if you are earning them now, and back then, everything was much cheaper. But lo and behold, we are living in a rundown house. We never bought a car, all of them were given to us second-hand from my dad's company. They don't have any investments. No savings at all. No insurance. We lived near destitution. I used to think we were just poor. I did not understand that we were supposed to be an upper-middle-class family until I was much older. All of Mama's siblings depend on her, and she kept on giving them money, because it makes her feel special and important. Classic narcissist. My dad retired with millions from his company. They wasted those within 5 years after retirement. Now that I'm old, she kept on harping about, thank you. Then, what happened to the indebtedness of my mother's relatives? Whatever they gave me was their responsibility. But they are not responsible for their relatives. Why am I indebted, and they are not? Even then, I paid my dues 100 times over until I was 35. I am about to retire. I don't want to be like them, who don't grow up at all. I don't want to hear my mother's hurtful words when she swears at me every day. They eat takeout, I eat porridge. I persevered with the electric fan, even though I was working so they had air conditioning. Even then, still not enough. So I left, and I'm not coming back. I plan to migrate eventually, far away from my parents and their relatives. I am not sorry for being hard-hearted, but learn from my mistakes. In the end, repentance comes later. Edit. I am sorry for the people getting downvoted for supporting my decision. People who wish you to continue your suffering exist in this life. I learned they matter only because they teach you to be kinder to yourself and others. We all build our tribes. I am considering leaving for a fresh perspective, because my frustration is mounting. They have a store that operates from 5 a.m. then it closed. Their daily sales range from wonk to twok, which means they earn around $150 a day. The electric bills amount to almost $10 a month, which I pay for their 4 refrigerators that are empty most of the time. Despite repeatedly advising them to keep only 1 refrigerator running, my mother refuses to acknowledge that her store is losing money. She claims it's her home and disregards my concerns. She spends 200 pesos per meal on takeout food every day. Yes, my mother is the only one who buys takeout regularly, while we cook our own meals. Their credit card debt is a result of restocking expenses exceeding their earnings. I am the one paying off the credit card debt, since my mother is lazy. My father is the only one working, as my mother avoids taking responsibility. He is ill, and I have pleaded with them multiple times to close the store as it is worsening my father's health due to excessive work. My mother gets furious and accuses me of interfering, because I am an adopted child. I am not adopted, but my mother enjoys mentioning that. Yet, we are only wasting money on her hobby, which incurs more expenses than profits. Thank you for the overwhelming support, and I appreciate those who shared their own stories. I hope you can find a little solace in mine, and know that we can control our own path, regardless of how we were conditioned to think that we do not deserve happiness. Comments. I'm a mother of 3, but I never asked anything from my children, since they graduated and started working. I'm even embarrassed when they reach out to me, or whenever they treat me out. I'm old, but still working. To think I raised them alone. No husband. It's not the children's responsibility to raise their parents. And it will never be. So you have no heart for them. You have all the right to leave and live your life away from them. Don't feel sorry, and never regret your decisions. Once a child is born, it's parents' responsibility till the end. Congrats on prioritizing your peace. My advice is to take action legally, with matters of your assets, so that none of your relatives can claim it. Think ahead that when the time comes, if your mom or dad will not be around permanently, knock on wood, you still have the upper hand on the assets, so when the time comes, you can do whatever it takes to claim what is rightfully yours. Send a letter to your parents to let it all out. Then block them. You did something very impressive. There is absolutely nothing wrong with prioritizing yourself over people who are toxic and would never prioritize you. Damn! What a true waste. With that money, you guys could have been millionaires by now by investing here and there, starting businesses. Damn! What a waste. You did the right thing. Get settled, get married, have a family and be the best person you can be. Always keep your character high, and never lower it to the same level as others. In translation, if someone is addicted to you, you don't have to be addicted to them. Sometimes ignoring or kindness hits harder. I admire your courage. You chose to build your own life, to tell your own story. I don't think you're heartless at all. It takes a lot of heart to decide that families need not inherit suffering across generations, to say that history need not repeat itself. I pray that you continue to be your own hero, and to be a hero to others whom your story inspires. You are at a beautiful beginning, so may your journey be long, your trials meaningful, and the moments in between impossibly interesting. Subscribe and hit the bell button for the best Reddit stories available.